Hey, how's it going everyone? MLT Magic Tricks here. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a performance and a tutorial for this really amazing self-working card trick. But before we get into it, if you are new here to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more card trick videos like this. If you enjoy this one, make sure you hit that like button. Now let's get straight into the trick. Okay, so I would start off this trick with my spectator giving the deck a shuffle. Once they are done, I would have them make a selection. Let's say they choose this card. Now for the trick, I would just have my spectator look at the card. Once they have memorized it, I would explain to them we are going to get their card lost somewhere into the middle of the deck. So I'm just going to deal off cards here, just a random amount, and then we'll go ahead and insert the spectator's card here into the deck. We'll place all these cards right on top like that. So we have got the spectator's card lost into the middle of the deck. We'll even give the cards a few cuts like that as well. At this point, with the spectator's card lost somewhere into the middle of the deck, I would have them cut a small portion of cards from the top. So my spectator would go ahead and do this. Let's say they cut this amount of cards right here. I would have them hold on to their pile. Now I'm actually going to need a pile of cards as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and deal cards onto the table here. And so I have my own pile. It doesn't really matter how many cards I deal. I'm just going to deal a random amount. So I'll go ahead and stop right here. This is going to be my pile. Now my spectator and I each have some cards here. I would ask my spectator to count how many cards they cut from the top of the deck. So my spectator would go ahead and count these cards. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 cards in the pile that they cut. So we're actually going to use that number 13 right now. I would remind my spectator I did not see the card they chose at the start, and we lost it somewhere in the middle of the deck. So I'm going to use that number 13 and see if it can help me find the spectator's card. I'm going to deal 13 cards from the top of my own pile here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and check out the 13th card from the top of my pile. It should be the spectator selection, the 3 of clubs. So guys, that is the trick. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you want to learn how to perform it yourself, make sure you watch the tutorial. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that one. This is a really great trick that is quite easy to perform, so grab your deck of cards and let's get right into the tutorial. I'm first going to explain exactly how I did this trick in the performance, and then I'm going to talk about a slight variation you can do, which adds a prediction, and I think if you do it that way, it will take this card trick to the next level, so make sure you watch the entire tutorial. Now you're going to start off this trick with your spectator giving the deck a shuffle. This is a completely no setup effect, and then they are going to choose a card. Once they take out their selection, you are just going to have them look at it, but for the tutorial, we'll look at it together. In this case, we have the 10 of hearts. Now, while your spectator is memorizing their card, what you're going to want to do is count off exactly 20 cards from the top of the deck. So there are a couple ways you can do this. You can do what I did in the performance, which basically involves you just dropping off cards from the top of the deck on the table. I like to count them off in blocks of 5. I think that's easiest, so that's 5. There is another 5, and then just to change it up a little bit so you're not blatantly counting off a certain number of cards each time, you can just switch it up. So after you do 2 packs of 5, that's 10. You can do 2 packs of 4, so that's 18, and then just 19 and 20 cards like that. So make sure you count off exactly 20 cards. That is very important. You're going to tell your spectator, all right, so just go ahead and place your card in the middle of the deck here. You're not making mention of the exact amount of cards or anything like that you're dealing. You're just casually telling your spectator, we're going to lose your card into the middle of the deck. You're going to place these 20 cards directly on top. So obviously that's one way you can do it. You can also just count off 20 cards like this, kind of casually to yourself while your spectator is memorizing their card. Either way, you're ready to move on. So their card is now in the 21st position from the top of the deck. Your spectator thinks it's really lost. You can also do some false cuts if you want to maintain that order. We'll leave a link on the screen right now if you guys want to learn some false cuts. They are not mandatory. They are just optional for this trick. From here, you're going to have your spectator cut a small amount of cards from the top, and it is very important that they cut less than 21 cards. So really explain to them just to cut a very small amount. You can even say, go ahead and cut 5 to 10 cards or something like that. Just make sure they do cut a small amount. Make sure they're not cutting like half the deck or else the trick won't work. So make sure you do watch and make sure they cut less than 21 cards. So they'll cut just a small amount from the top, and Now you're going to tell your spectator, okay, you have your pile, so now I'm going to need one. All you're doing here is counting off exactly 20 cards from the top of the deck for your pile. You're just dealing these cards on the table as you're talking to your spectator, but you are keeping track of the cards and counting them in your head. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just kind of have some small talk here with your spectator while you're doing it. It's really not that hard just to deal and then talk at the same time. So that's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Once you have dealt your 20 cards, you're placing the rest of the deck off to the side. You're squaring up your pile here and explaining to your spectator that they are going to count how many cards they cut from the top of the deck. You're going to have your spectator count the cards in their own pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in this case. They just have 6 cards in their pile. You're going to take the number of cards that they cut from the deck there. You're going to use that number right now for this part of the trick. You're going to remind your spectator that you did not see the card, you lost it in the deck. And you're going to tell them, okay, we're going to deal 6 cards from the top of my pile to see if that can help me find your selection. And guys, check this out. Since this is a self-working effect, and if you follow all the steps correctly, you will see here the 6th card from the top of my pile here. So that's 5, and then 6 right here is the spectator's card, the 10 of hearts. The trick will work every single time as long as you follow these steps correctly. Now, if you want to incorporate the prediction, what you can do is have a card in mind that you want to have as your prediction at the start. Let's say it's the Ace of Hearts. You can just write that down on a piece of paper or have another Ace of Hearts from a different deck. You place that face down on the table to start. And if you still want to make this a no setup effect, what you can do, you're just going to place the Ace of Hearts in the middle of the deck here. You go up to your spectator, you have your prediction, they shuffle the deck, you show them, okay, as you can see here, all of the cards are shuffled. Now, while you're spreading through the deck face up, you are looking for the card that you're going to force, which is your prediction. So I'm looking for the Ace of Hearts. I see it here. I'm going to separate it at that point, spread these cards out. As I square everything up, I'm making sure I'm cutting the Ace of Hearts directly to the top of the deck like that. So now I have the Ace of Hearts on top, or whatever your prediction card is. And then all you do from here, you can give the deck a quick riffle shuffle if you want, maintain your force card there on top. And then instead of actually having your spectator choose a card, from the middle of the deck where they have a free selection, you just need to force that Ace of Hearts on your spectator. You can perform any card force you want to. I'll leave a link on the screen right now to me giving a tutorial on a card force, but you can just, do the slip force here like that. You slide off the card and then you force the Ace of Hearts. You can do a riffle force if you want as well. Wherever your spectator calls stop, you lift up from the break. They choose the card. They think it's a free selection. You just have them look at it, and then you perform all of these steps the same as I talked about in the tutorial there. The trick will work, and then at the end for the kicker ending, when their card, shows up in the position from your pile, to top off the trick, you show them your prediction was their selection, just like that, and the prediction matches their card, and they will be completely blown away. So that's how you can incorporate a prediction into this trick. I think it just takes the effect to the next level. So definitely try that out. Make sure you understand the steps. Overall, it's quite easy to perform. Definitely give this one a try, guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. Peace out.